Hi everyone, it's Mark here from the Arts and Culture Network. We're now at around 150,000 across our 8 LinkedIn groups as of January 25. But this is the best fun of the job for me. This is where I get to catch up with some of our full members and share their news and achievements from last year and plans for this year, 2025. So Cleo has joined me. Cleo, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Mark. It's been great to be here.
For the benefit of our viewers, please tell us where you're based and the work that you do, and then we'll start talking about what happened since our last interview in March and what your plans are for this year.
Sure thing. So hi, everyone. My name is Cleo. I've been joining the Arts and Culture Network for maybe more than a year, actually. I'm now resided in Copenhagen, but actually I'm from Hong Kong. I've been working with art fairs for probably more than a decade, and now I have my own consultancy firm in Copenhagen, but I have been working with art fairs around the world, including Hong Kong, Stockholm, Brussels, Amsterdam, and potentially what actually it is going to happen in Basel. So it's been very exciting.
That's fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about the kind of support and the services that you provide those art fairs and have done over the last year.
Previously, what I worked for an art fair is mostly focusing on marketing and communications, also including PR and database management. But now, since I have my own consultancy firm, which means that I can do whatever I want, whichever way, no, just kidding. But it's more about on what exactly the clients need, because we all understand that, especially for art fairs, it's rather limited resources, but it doesn't mean that what they can do is limited. So what I provide them is, of course, I look at what they need and I provide tailored solutions. For some art fairs, I've been trying to provide, even including social media planning, execution, but also including things like database research, so that if we always need more clients, new clients, to keep the art circle, art world more revived and also bring in new collectors. That's the ecosystem that we are supporting. And then on top of that, I also do a lot of writing, especially for blogs for the art fairs and also for a bit of production. So it includes materials production and also a bit of shipping. So literally it is everything.
That's great because yes, you're unusual in that we are in the art world and obviously we're all creative. But I speak to increasing numbers of artists and business owners like art fairs in our community, and they often lack either the time or the expertise or the resources to do the essentials that get people through the door. One of our members in the States, he does social media planning and management for arts organizations and mainly theatre. And so his motto is getting them out of their house into yours. So that's the end goal is the footfall. So that's great. That's fantastic work. And it means you get to work with in different communities and different countries, which is great. So that's a wonderful update. And I'm so pleased that that's been successful over the last few months. So what's looming? What have you got coming up? What's exciting you about 25?
Yes, so even though we are just 16 days in 2025, it doesn't feel like it. It feels longer, but interestingly. So previously, I did mention the art fairs that I'm working for Brussels and Amsterdam because it is going to happen in less than a month. And then at the same time, I'm going to do the research project for an art fair in Basel. And at the same time, I'm also having some potential projects coming up in Hong Kong again, and maybe in Sweden. We'll figure it out. But then at the same time, it is so many things happening. It is a project I've started with one of my partners, and we are going to work out a marketing service for especially galleries. And my partner, he is actually focusing on the performing arts industry. So we do realize that, just like the member that you have chatted with, which is in the US, that a lot of organizations actually don't necessarily have the resources, or they have it but don't have the right help to blast out information about what they are going to present or what events that they are having. So the marketing services we are going to provide, again, is very tailored because we know that different organizations need different services. So the solution that we are providing, including a thorough market research on who their competitors are and how is their current strategy on even social media or EDM, the direct email via email, how they're doing, how can they do better, even if can they plan on automation or just and if they think that they need something less or just want someone to help them to work on the social media planning, that's something we also provide. So we do see that there's a potentiality, especially in smaller organizations. We know that the big ones, they have the in-house team, which is great because they know people will always work together, but small organizations usually are the ones that need the help from what we can see.
Yeah. Oh, that's great work. That really is. It's occurred to me, and it's one of the uncomfortable truths of marketing, in my opinion, is that at any given time, insufficient numbers of the right people even know you exist. So it's an awareness challenge. If they're not aware, then the benefits and the features or what they can gain from engaging with that are lost because you're not even aware. I did an awareness study once for a marketing agency specializing in the pharmaceutical industry in Europe. And we managed to poll 200 pharma marketers across Europe who were ideal looking clients for this agency. And we did it anonymously with unprompted awareness and prompted awareness. So it was in a magazine or on a website. And so the first question is, can you please name 5 marketing agencies that specialize in supporting pharmaceutical companies in Europe? Okay. And then subject to what the answers were, it was then a case of, have you heard of X? And the unprompted awareness was 3%.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of work to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And so I did this for them. And I said, that's why you're not getting the opportunities to pitch, because they don't even know you're there,
Correct. Yes.
let alone how good you are. I think it was slightly better. It was about 6% for prompted awareness. Have you heard of so-and-so?
Better than 3%.
Yeah, it is better, but it is a challenge. Now, so I've got a question for you. Given that you're the driving force and the mastermind behind raising awareness for art fairs, do you have any plans to present an art fair yourself?
That is a very interesting question. If I'm only doing it myself, no, because I absolutely know that it's not a one-man project. I mean, working on an art fair is actually it's very interesting because adrenaline pumps, seeing nothing like the empty ground, and then you see all the walls and artworks, galleries coming in, erected from the ground, and then people coming in, and we are not talking about 1,000 or 2, we are talking about 10,000, 20,000, or about 30,000 or more. So it is very exciting. So, I mean, if anyone is interested in working on an art fair, please reach out. I have a lot to share. But if only running by myself or found one myself, I do have to have a thing because number is not my forte in a sense. I mean, in terms of the finance side, but not necessarily when we're looking at, the outreach or the impressions numbers, that I'm having fun with those. And also, how people respond to your content and whatsoever. Those are numbers. But when it comes to the numbers on how much we have to earn and then whatsoever, and then on that, I do need help on that. I know where my weakness lies, but I also what I can do well. And I'm always happy to work together with a team because that's how you build something together. And art fair is never a one-man job. It's everything.
No, that's great. Well, I think that's wonderful. It's great to hear that you've been successful over the last year. It looks as though that's going to continue because you've got people who trust you and want to continue to work with you, which is always great. As somebody said, it's easier to sell 300 euros to an existing customer than it is to sell €1 to a new one. Because they know your worth and your value. And so that's great. I wish you continued success, Cleo. This has been very kind of you to jump on and update us. Wherever this appears, there are links to Cleo and CT Consultancy, and perhaps we'll add a case study or two as well. So Cleo, please don't rush off, but for the time being, thank you so much for this update, and thank you also for being one of our full members.
Thank you very much, Mark. The pleasure is absolutely mine. It's been great to chatting with everyone, like whenever the opportunities arises.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.